Welcome to class day 18 and well done for coming so far. So we are going to continue from where we stopped because we have a lot to cover tonight, which is the last day of our beginners to intermediate series of data analysis with Excel. Now, we have entered the first chart of the first question, and we've seen how beautiful we can format it to get a better presentation of the data. Going forward, we are going to insert charts for different questions which we have answered with the pivot table. So let us kick off. The next is average year resale value of the vehicle type. So you click on the particular pivot table, choose pivot table analyze on the tabs, choose pivot charts on the tools ribbon. You choose a bar or a column chart, anyone that goes well, we are good to go. So you choose a column chart, click OK. We resize it. And then we start formatting. So first thing first, to remove the fit buttons, just like we did the last time. So right click on click on the field button, or we go to the pivot chart analyze tab and remove the buttons by clicking on the field buttons on the show/hide ribbon control and choose the hide all. Then the axis, we're going to remove this horizontal axis. Sorry, this vertical axis over here. Removing them and choosing primary vertical. That's off. We remove grid lines, remove legends. Sorry about the network. It's quite messy. Let us continue. So we are using this to answer questions 2 and question 7. So they are similar. Question 2 is which vehicle type has the highest average resale value? Question 7 says how does resale value of passenger vehicles compare to that of car type, right? So we're going to just come to the chart type. So double click to activate it, and we call it vehicle type comparison. Vehicle type year resale comparison. So this is the font size, make it bold. We are still working with Calibri, right? So I'm going to resize this particular charts, the columns, sorry. I'm going to resize them as we did before, right? Click on the column, the format will be out for you under the format data points. So we click on series, which is these columns here. We are going to reduce overlap to 0, the gap width to 42%, and you are good to go, right? So for the data labels, we want it to be in the center of these columns here. So we go to data labels and the chart elements, data labels, we choose, I choose inside base, or we choose inside end. The other chart elements, data labels, then inside end. And I have this. Click on the chart to color it. So the fill color should be solid fill, which is the black that we are using. That's right vector black. Then the color of this text, we change it to white. And after that, we click on column and change the color of the column to white. As well. Then the data is going to make them bold, and the color should be automatic. I think we should leave it as it is. Then the chart, we need to make the edges a rounded edge. So we go to the border, rounded corners. Cap type is flat, but we change it to round. Width should be 0.5. Then also choose no line. So you have the same type of data charts, which are all column data charts. Column data charts. So let's go to the next question, which is what's the correlation between the engine size and fuel efficiency? This is a statistical question, and obviously we cannot use a pivot table to answer statistical question. So what do? We're going to copy this entire data. We are going to place them as values just beside this. Paste it as values. And then I'm going to make sure we resize each data point. Decimal place right at the head. So I'm going to select these data points. Because we're looking at average fuel efficiency. That's what it is, right? So let's just fit this to column width. By letting go of this grand total here, because we don't need it. So once focus on just this engine size and their fuel efficiency. Then again, select them. And after that, we go to the Insert tab on the chart control, choose the Start Upload. This is what you get. This will allow the correlation between engine size and fuel efficiency. So we choose this. Here we need now resize this box. Some set place to it as it is for that. This correlation between engine size and fuel efficiency. So let's change it. Let's say correlation between engine size and average fuel efficiency. So size. So what about this the first chart, our pivot chart is very, very not very good, but at times it becomes so difficult to handle in the sense that it look like what we have here. I probably have to about it though. So on the chart element, moving the lines. Then for axis I2, think I will vertical axis and we leave it as it's here. Then the next is the field color, solid color as usual. Then for the lines, sorry, not the lines, for the markers, right? We need to fill it. Let's see. Solid color should be white. the end lines it's line. So for this, change it to white as well. For the here, I'll change it to similar. Then we can have a border that is red, but not and fine. You see how it's you have a border on the side that it's rounded now. But then we still and that's it. So we need to moment to start chart title. But let's see if there's any we can adjust the chart title to be on the let's go to more options and see what we have. So chart title more options. See that us we have sentence. No? Okay, so that settles it. So see correlation between these data points. And you have an outlier. You have two outliers. One outlier as the engine size of 8 has the MC point of 1 we have 5 nice clone, right? So the relationship between engine size and average velocity is a strong positive relationship. A strong positive relationship. That's because you can't say because you have these two outliers here and it's not strong. However, since we already have more of the samples of data coming together in bonded form, you can say that this is a strong positive correlation between the data points at engine size and average fuel efficiency. So that answers the question and we are good to go. So let's get to the next question, number 4. It says, which manufacturer has the highest total sales in thousands? So this is all the manufacturers. So let's use a private chart for that now. So we're going to be making sure that we filter this out. So let's just filter this out to get the top 3 or top 5. Let's just leave the top 5. So let's maintain this to avoid redundancy. So this is it. Let's click. It's not working. Just go to hide. Then normal chart settings, that's what we're doing, right? So it follows the same process for every chart you enter in your data. So this is manufacturers, with highest total sales in 1,000. So we just format it, then quickly solid column, border. Data labels. So you see that forward rose above the bar. Very interesting. I choose to sort this in ascending order, depending on in ascending order by total sales and thousands. So let's right click. Let's right click on the bar and sort. Go to more sort options, just like we showed us before, right? Smallest, largest. And we have this. So you see it's now properly sorted from smallest to largest, which is in ascending order, by total sales and thousands. And forward should be just where it's supposed to be, which is just right here. So notice the way I'm able to carry this particular chart title. I wasn't able to carry it with this one here. I don't know whether it's because of, okay, finally it's moving around. So most times I have issues carrying this chart title whenever I'm working on this my particular Microsoft Office. But then I think I'm okay here. So sometimes you might tend to increase the size of data charts title just to accommodate the font size of such chart title. So let's see. Okay, so let's head on. Let's continue with the next. Next is the question number 5, which says, what is the average price of vehicles with a horsepower greater than 200? These are all horsepower greater than 200. We are going to still use a pivot chart for this. I want to use a bar chart this time around. Let's just have a change. Right. Time around, I'm trying to right click on these buttons, but it's not giving me a response. So I always use the field buttons feature here. And this is going to be the title of average price in thousand, average price of vehicles. Average price of vehicles of 200 HP vehicles. Let's use that word, 200 HP vehicles. Let's use this word instead. So let's trying to make sure that we don't use so much big words that we end up giving us just not what we need. Because as the case may be, we still have to go back to the previous charts so that we can rename them accordingly. So line, white, the color for the bars, then the space, the gap width. So I'm maintaining 42 all through. Do you think it's necessary to have a data label? Let's see. Let's see how the data label to look like inside end. Let's try to see how it's going to look like. Is it going to be nice? Let's see. Let's try expanding this and see. Okay. This is not bad. Right, but let's see whether it's best to have those labels outside of the I think outside end would be better. So let's change the color to white. Yeah, I think this is much better than being inside so that we can see it vividly. This is much better. So this average price of 200 HP vehicles. Then let's come to this particular long. Okay, this is correlation between engine size and average fuel efficiency. The title is not bad. Manufacturer the highest sales. Okay, let's just leave in thousands and maintain just highest sales because we want to reduce the title. And here is correlation between engine size and average fuel efficiency. I think it's not a bad title. So let's leave it as it is. We're trying to reduce some lines. So let's come again. How does the average cube weight of SUVs compare to that of sedans? So trying to see the comparison, which is also good to use a pivot chart for the particular vehicle type. So I'm choosing a pivot type. The bar chart is not bad. So let's use this bar chart. So we are going to, as usual, go to the field buttons. And the field color for this should be a solid black field. Right, so you click on the chart elements and remove the grid lines and legend. Then you are going to the axis to remove primary horizontal. So I can remove this base. Then click on the bars and change the color to white. Then the gap width should be 42. So I'm maintaining 42 all through the gap width. Then data labels should just come inside the end of it. So we can resize it to be very much visible. And then we'll be good to go. So you see how you're getting the charts ready for our visual reports, because this is where our stakeholder waits for us. So the chart title will be average relationship between average cube widths, relationship of average cube widths. Let's say relationship. Okay, it's not relationship. I'm thinking of a perfect name. So comparison of average cube widths by vehicle type. So I'm just avoiding long grammars or long grammars. So comparison of average cube widths by vehicle type. So I think this is okay. Comparison of average cube width by vehicle type. So I think this should go. So let's just keep it somewhere here. And let's add the border, just like we did the last time, right? So have the border. So that settles it. And let's go to the last charts. Let's go to the last charts that we have. I'm trying to reduce this font size so that so this comparison of average group widths of vehicle types. So the last chart we have here is question number 8. What is the trend of sales for the top 3 selling models? And these are the top 3 selling models we have here. So to achieve that same, some are going to use the line chart because line chart is the best go-to. But let's see if the line chart actually give us what we want, because we are dealing with just a couple of data, right? But here I see nothing compared to what we should see when we use a bar chart. Now you have something in bar chart. So even if you want to use a particular data chart type and it's not coming by, you're not wrong to use a different chart type, because a bar chart also can help us to look out for trend. And this is because we are comparing categorical data with quantities, and the categorical data here is the model, while the quantities are the cells in thousands, right? So if we might want to switch positions, we might get what we're looking for, but let's flow with this at the moment. So what we did here was to get the dates value filters and the model and the same thing too. And we try to find out different ways we can achieve this. For instance, let's copy this pivot table and then paste it somewhere here. And we try to adjust it to fit into what we are looking for. So let's say we get the field bottom of the list. I'll try to remove all this out of line. And the question is that we should do what? Get a trend in sales over the years for the top 3 selling models. So the models we have is this, all the models. Then the launch, the latest launch is this, right? And if you put it in columns, it's going to be a very long latest launch, very long, right? So it is best to have them where it is before, but let's still filter the models. So the models should be the top 10, for instance. So let's use top 10 as sum of 7,000. I forgot to add that. So let's model top 10 and values filter. So we did this yesterday and the day before yesterday, where we showed us how we can easily filter out what we need in the data set. So this is top 10. Notice that there are scanty data sets, scanty ones indeed. So no matter how much you try, you still get scanty data sets. But at the end of the day, we have something that looks like this. But let's see if you add the charts and see what it gives us at the end of the day with a line chart, which has to be so. I think that nothing is coming up here, right? So the best chart to visualize this is definitely going to be the bar chart. So go to pivot table and you have a bar chart. Then click OK. So let's quickly format it the way we do formats as always. So to have legends in, because we need the legends time around, right? So legends will be on the top. Then we are going to remove the horizontal axis. Then chart title above. And let's see what we got here. So chart title should be sales of the top three models, right? Sales of the top 3 models. That should be the particular perfect. So let's start. I've closed the pivot table list. Just like I said before, you can easily close it, all right? And if you want to get it back, and go to pivot table chart analyze, and you see field lists, and you bring it back, right? So off, back, off. So now let us format this. So you can click on the format tab and choose the format selection from the current selection ribbon. And then let's start with the field first. So we're using solid color black. And the border is rounded corners. Cap type is round. And then the font should be white in color, bold. This should be white in color too. So I can easily move this to this end. So this is the flexibility that a pivot chart offers me compared to what a normal chart I insert would offer me. It offers me the flexibility of moving my chart titles and legends to a preferred position out of the jurisdiction of what I was given. So I'm going to fill the color for the F series to be white since it's the highest of them. I'm going to fill the color for the Camry to be a little bit of shouty blue or green, preferably, so we can see it clearly because it's a black background, right? So should I even use yellow? No. And then this blue. No, this blue is not bad, but for a better blue color. So let's work with this better. So now let's reduce the gap width, 42. So the more we reduce the gap width, the less it becomes. So let's say 0. This is somehow weird. Can we change this to a column chart? Yes, we can. So let's click on the chart area, go to the design and change chart type to column. I think this is much better. Let's see how it works. So even if you should make it 0, nothing still happens. We still have some issues here. So I think we might want to swap the position, move the models to be on the row, while move the date to be on the column, so that we can get something that is much better. But as it is here, it's not bad though. It's not bad because we already have what we need. Just that the overlapping series is too much. Like I'm not comfortable with overlapping series. It's way out of line for me, because it's so much way out of line. So much out of line. Even if I should reduce the overlapping series to 0, or make it okay, let me just increase it to okay. I think this is what I will need to do. I'll just have to increase the overlapping series to possibly 80 and okay, 92 is okay. So we can still fall back to the previous chart that we used, which is a bar. I say fall back to that. But let's maintain our column charts though. I think it's much better that way. So let's insert the data labels. Let's insert it somewhere inside end. Then make it, let's color it. So I think white is okay for here. Then here should be automatic because it's white color fill. Then here should be automatic as well. Or should we make it white? Let's say white. White is not going to be fitting, so let's just leave that black. So this settles it. So comfortably built the necessary pivot charts that we need for this analysis, all of them in good shape and all positioned well for what is to come. And what's that to come? Using them for visualization. That is what is to come. So all these charts have helped us answer all the questions which we have fished out using AI tool. And the AI tool we used was ChatGPT for Excel. The last time we showed us how we can insert ChatGPT for Excel in our Excel spreadsheet. Use an AI tool for us to use to analyze data. For us, we can use it to write some prompts in our worksheets. So it can generate some questions for us, even though they're not going to be 100% correct, but at least it gives us an edge to what we are looking for. And now we have all of these positioned carefully and well. Let us head on straight to creating our first ever dashboard using this particular analysis we've written down here so far. The best route to follow in creating dashboard is to follow a conclusive movement. Now, what do I mean by that? Don't insert a chart before the next chart or because you prefer that this chart should come first. No. Before you insert a chart, make sure it follows a movement which your stakeholders will understand, because they are also following the questions you have above, right? So this chart will come first, while the second chart, and the next chart that will follow is the third chart, followed by the fourth chart, just like that, right? That's how it's supposed to be, because at the end of the day, your stakeholder will want to see the chart outlined just the way the questions we are sent in to you. So let us now open a new sheet, and it's going to be the sheet we are going to use for our dashboard reporting. So to create a dashboard in Microsoft Excel or a report sheet for visuals, we are going to remove these grid lines, remove all of them. So we go to the View tab, click on grid lines to remove them. If possible too, you can still remove the headings, right? You might remove all of them because we don't actually need them in this situation. I don't need any of this, but it still remain for this particular other sheet. So for this sheet here, we don't need them. So what do we do next? We go to the insert, and then we take up a particular, let's go to page layout first. Let's set the page. So the page is going to be a, should we use portrait? Okay, let's use landscape. I prefer landscape. So landscape, and the size is going to be legal. So it to be a little bit bigger. Then the margin should be a narrow one, right? So this is enough for that page. So let's start by inserting, coloring this page is quite interesting. So let's just highlight all just like we used to do. Highlight the entire sheet of, so this is 2 pages I've selected. So this page break here shows that this is a single page, that's first page. While here shows the second page. The color you are using, which color again? Let's use them black. I don't know why, but let me use a lighter shade of black this time around. Fine. So that settles it. So we have a color here. So the next is the chart title. Let's go to insert again. We take a shape, possibly I always prefer a rounded rectangle as a shape. So I'm going to just insert it somewhere here. So I'm not using a filter as slicer, because what I just generated is a static visual report. So there's no need for slicer. But if there's still need, you can still put slicer. But let's see how it goes. So this is for the headings. Then the next is where the cards will be. So I prefer the cards to be just near the slicer. There are various templates to use to create dashboard visuals in Excel and Power BI for data analytics and visualization. So it all depends on the analyst to choose a particular template that he feels is very much okay with and also relates with the industry he or she is working with. So here we serve for the heading, here we serve for the cards or KPI, or the case may be. Let me now start importing my chart. So I'll go to Explore section, go for the next first chart I have is this. I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to paste it just underneath here. Right, so I'm going to get the next chart, which is this, cut it and paste it just beside this one here. I have this. Then I'll get the next chart, which is the third chart. Now this chart is very nice because it shows us the correlation between the values we have actually visualized. So let's still go here. And then the next chart is which one? That should be this. Yes. Cut it and paste it just beneath this over here. We have this. Then we come to the fifth question, which is this. Cut it. Paste is just beside this. So we have this over here. So we still keep resizing. Remember that we are building a visual report, so we keep still resizing until we get a desired artistic context of our dashboard reports. So that's the goal of every dashboard report. I wouldn't call this a dashboard report, I'll call it a a visual report because this is not a dashboard, even though we can call it dashboard, but I will explain better when I'm done to tell you why I say that this is not actually a dashboard, because dashboards are actually real life scenarios. Like, okay, I think I'll explain better yet, but let me just finish. Just let me finish with this. I'll explain better. Okay, I think this is okay. Let us see. Trying to make sure I don't jeopardize anything here. We're just having kind of how many charts? 7 charts thereabouts. So let's just keep this guy here. Then let's continue. I think I'll leave these data labels on the top. So let me just keep on the top. Outside end here. Then the color should be white. Cool. So outside end is the best fit for it. Great. So let's come again to the Explore. Then cut this out and paste this here. So let's see. Let's have this over here. Let's also have this over here. So we have 1 chart left, and that chart is obviously going to be on the next page. Okay. I'm trying to follow a particular movement or pattern. So the last chart now, which is this over here, verticals, is going to be on the next page. But it's very much not okay because imagine having 6 visual charts over here, but we have 1 outside. So it's going to be like a scapegoat chart. So let's just look at this chart and see if there's anyone we don't really need. Because some of these questions were generated by ChatGPT for Excel, which we use as AI tool for analysis. So let's see which chart we can remove here that is not actually necessary. So average horsepower for Acura vehicles are not a very good visual to have because give or take all vehicles by Acura here in this data was all produced 1 at a time, right? 1 at a time. So you might want to remove this question. So I'm going to delete this particular pivot table. So I'm going to delete it. I'm going to delete it. Entire row. I'm going to shift cells up left. Pivot over there. And just delete. So I just deleted with my keyboard because if I should do that, it should affect this. If I should do the right click I did before, that would have delete options, it should affect this number 5 pivot table. So when you go back now, this Acura vehicle type is still here, but we need to delete it too. In that case, we are going to move this to this end. Hold on. So let's move this to this end. Then we are going to move the correlation to this end. Great. So move this other one to this end. So then I'm going to do the correlation to this. So I can have this coming over here. Then reduce the size above. And move it a little bit to this. So I want the correlation to be a bit bigger. That's because it's a scatter plot. So I want it to have that benefits of doubt, right? We have this, then we have this. So this is perfect, right? This perfect fits. So we have all the charts fitted in a single page and we are okay by it. All right, so this is great. So let's evenly distribute this. And for us to do that, we need to click on a particular chart. So let's say I'm clicking on the last chart or the first chart, either of them according to choice. So click on the 3 charts first and then go to the shape format. On the shape format, you go to the arrange control ribbon. You see a line over here and you see distribute shape horizontally, distribute vertically. So I'm distributing horizontally, right? So click on it and distribute horizontally. Then the next, you now align them to the middle. And that starts. So you come over to the next line of action, but click each of them, hold your shift key while you're doing so. Then alignment should be distributed horizontally too. And then in the middle, align. Fine. So that settles it for us. So you have a properly aligned chart and distributed evenly. So let's also increase this young man here. I want to make this a little bit from here. Then this guy should come here. So let's still click, distribute horizontally, and then align middle. Great. Okay, let's align at the top first. So we can then drag this down here. Right, so drag this guy down here too. Okay, so I think that is it. So we have a wonderful design of dashboard just here. But we're not done yet because we still need to put our chart title and then put our KPIs, all those are very much important. So let's save our work and start getting to work. So this is the different questions we answered with the pivot table we have made, because remember that we got these questions by utilizing ChatGPT for Excel, which is an AI tool that helps us to get all of this handy. We said that we are going to teach you how to use AI tool for analysis, and this is us just doing justice to that. So you can go back to the videos in case you've forgotten how to do that, and you get what we want to get. So we remember how we have these colors here because you are working with different models. That's the white is for F series, which is the highest of the models. Then the orange is for Explorer, and then the last one is Camry. So you have this, but I'm trying to look at how you're going to make this particular color blend better, because they are looking like, I think this shades of color won't be bad, right? So let's just choose shades of color that won't be bad. I think, yeah, so it can blend well. I think this is perfect. This is much better. Remember the discussion we had about data visualization? We said that color makes a good impact in our data, because the right color will yield the right communication to our stakeholder, and at the end of it, he will be happy that we did the job, because we know how to choose better visuals, better fonts that will help him see clearly the information we are trying to pass. So anyone that comes across this design will be happy with what we've done so far. So let's now come to the header. When you click on the header, because it's a rounded shape, you just click on the header. You have an extended option, extended tab come up for you, and that's how we call it the shape format. Then let's, just like we did the last time, let us format the shape and then get what we need. So here we are going to enter the chart title and then the cards. So So first of all, let me get the chart title. So insert again, go to text control ribbon text box, and let's start typing. Not like that. Let's go again. Text box. So let's draw. So you need to draw it. So this is car sales data. So it's car sales analysis, right? So we highlight, increase the font size to fit in well, and make it bold. Remember, we said that the go-to tab for formatting the data is always the home tab. So that's where we are doing all this. We are doing. So shape format, remove the shape outline and the fill, because this is a title, so we want it to blend very well with just what we have over here. So car sales analysis, right? So I want to add cars just here. I'm going to go to the insert again, and then I'm going to go to pictures. I'm going to go to stock images. So there I can get the images I want to use for this particular dashboard report. I'm going to look for icons. So I'm going to search, depending on how wonderful your network is, I'm going to search for cars. So enter cars in the search bar. I only have this as a car. Why is that so? Let me click on insert. So I do one picture and we have this. So it's only having this guy as the car. That's weird though. I expect it to have more than just this. Let's try again. Insert pictures, stock images. So insert the illustration, I will choose pictures, then stock images. So let's see whether we can just go ahead to go to icons again. And possibly this time around, let's just use the options per day. Let's see vehicles, yeah. So let's click on vehicles and see what we have. I don't think this is better. So because we have passenger and car, so this is passenger, this is car. So I think we should even have it as vehicle sales analysis, because we have two vehicle types here, a car and a passenger, or SUV. So this should be vehicle sales analysis. So let us reduce this a little bit. So this is just to make our dashboard report or chart report look okay, right? Because remember, you're doing visualization and it's all about bringing out the best in every visuals you're working with. So you can still make do with this. Let us see, we add another shape. Let's add another shape now. So insert, let's go to shapes. This, let's just add another shape somewhere here. Let's get a little bit of aesthetics. So we're going to bring it to backward or some to back, as the case may be. So we done it before. Then for this, we're going to color our text first to white. So all these processes get what we are looking for. It might not be the same process you take while working on your own dashboard, but it's same. The aim is to make sure that we have a much fitted dashboard that tells the story of what we are looking to get. So I chose icon for these two shapes I inserted here, but you can still go to insert again, and this time around you can choose not the stock images though. you can choose not icons now, but in my picture, right? Then image or illustrations, as the case may be, and you type vehicles. So let's see how fast my network can be on this. Just vehicle. If there's any vehicle illustration though, we see. So let's wait. Okay. We didn't fetch any content matching this. Okay. So let's use the options we have here. This is illustration. So let's see what we have. Color. So we are okay. There's this guy here. So we are not seeing what we are looking for. Let's just type car and see. Let's type car and see if it will give us also. There's no search for car or vehicle in illustrations. So we go to image now and search for vehicle. Search for vehicle. Okay, this is what's giving us for vehicle. Wow. See this over here. Let's see car. So you see our best option here is just the icons, but it doesn't deprive you from going online to your Google browser to get images that are suitable for this analysis. So let's insert a KPI here. So to easily insert a KPI, you can just come down to our Explore sheets and click on that pivot table that we inserted here, which is this one we copied and pasted. So go back to pivot table design, field lists. So right here to uncheck all of this. Our M now is to get the total year resale value, which is this guy. So we select this and come over here, paste this guy. Now this time I'm going to check for the total price in thousands, right? So I'm going to focus on maybe 4 KPIs. Here the server is this guy. So let's enter maybe we've had sales in thousand. Here is okay. I have here is server already. Price. Let's put sales in thousand. Oh wow. Sorry, let me remove these guys from there and put them somewhere here. So right here, let's remove this. I wonder why this is always happening. Always asking for space. Alright, so let's have this. Okay, so it needs enough space. So the next should be we have year resale value, price in thousands, sales gets sales in thousands. And after that, we now have to get number of manufacturers. So let's just put number of manufacturers. We have 17. So this 4 is okay for us, right? So we are taking this 4 with us. So we have $2,109,690 for year resale value. Then we have $3,038,430. And next we have 6,000, sorry, this is 916.141. Then the next we have 117. So this is total year resale value. That is total pricing, total price. And that is total sales. And that is number of manufacturer. Great. So now let us come back to our sheet and then inserting, let's come over here first and insert a text box that will contain like this. Text box, something that is okay. So I'm going to copy this guy. So I'm going to copy it. Now come inside here, paste it. Come here, copy, paste. So I'm going to make this guy bold. And but for here, I'm going to make it bolder because that's the main focus as stakeholders. So having this, I'm good to go. Can copy paste. Come over here. I'll make this guy total price. Copy this guy. Come over here. Paste it here. So you see, I'm easily making the KPIs. The KPIs or the card, or this case may be. So here is total sales. I'm going to copy this. So this is what our stakeholder is likely going to focus on seeing immediately he sees our reports. So because after you've done analysis, you do a report, right? And this time around, what we're doing is a visual report that shows what we need to know. Total manufacturers, and we have 117. So I'm going to copy this, cut it out, then paste it here. Now let me move them, each and every one of them, to my space. So remember that as I'm moving, I'm reducing the sizes so it can fit into what we are looking now, because we need the sizes to be fitted just perfectly well, so that we won't miss anything at all at the end of the day. So this is a very good work and a very tedious work. Making reports is very tedious for data analysts. It's very tedious for data analysts because at the end of the day, your stakeholders must see what you've done so far. So let's now quietly align them distributed perfectly well. Great. So let us remove the shape outline and we're good. But let's leave the shape outline though, because it makes it look more better, right? So yeah, we have built wonderful reports. These are visual reports as a data analyst. So we are here, precious. So these are visual reports as data analysts. We have built a report for the analysis done so far, right? Be the report for it. And this is very much interesting because without the report, your coder will not know what happened in your analysis, right? Because that report is very important for him and for the entire stakeholders in quotes, because give or take, we all must have the report that shows what we have done so far. So with this, we've come to the end of our series on data analytics with Microsoft Excel. Remember that the only thing we did not teach you is Power Query Editor, which is the advanced series part 2 of Microsoft Excel. And we didn't also teach you how to model data in Excel. So that will be on part 2 of data analysis with Excel, not in this particular series, but on subsequent series that will be available as time goes by. Thank you very much for joining the call. Sorry, my battery is really down. I would have loved to take questions, but if you can drop it in the chat, I will welcome the questions. So see us as we unravel the hidden truths behind our skills as data analysts. For me, Chabi Kemanda St. Jadons, From Mdth, we say thank you for joining this 18 days of learning as you've shown your grit in becoming well versed with data analysis, and wrapping it up with building a visual report of your analytics process. Have a wonderful day.